Mia stepped onto the last bus of the night, the dim, flickering lights casting strange shadows on the empty seats. The air was thick with the smell of damp fabric and something faintly metallic. The driver, an older man with tired eyes, barely acknowledged her as she took a seat near the back. She was alone, except for the single figure seated at the very rear, shrouded in darkness. Mia tried not to stare, but something about the figure unsettled her. They sat perfectly still, their posture unnaturally rigid. Their face was obscured by the dim lighting, but she could make out the faint shape of a grin. Too wide, too frozen. Every time she glanced back, the figure hadn't moved an inch, yet somehow they felt closer. The engine hummed, the city slipping past in a blur of neon and darkness. Mia shifted uncontrollably when she heard it, something just beneath the sound of the wheels rolling against wet pavement. A whisper, faint, right beside her ear. You shouldn't have gotten on. She snapped her head around. No one was there, but the figure in the back, their head was now tilted slightly, as if they were listening. Mia sat frozen, gripping the seat in front of her. The bus should have turned left at the last stop, but it kept going straight. The familiar landmarks disappeared, replaced by empty lots and streets she didn't recognize. The street lights flickered, each one shutting off as the bus passed beneath it. Her breath hitched as she glanced at the rearview mirror. The driver was staring at her through it, not at the road, just her. Mia's hands trembled as she turned to look out the window. What she saw sent ice through her veins. In the reflection, she wasn't alone in her seat. A figure sat beside her, but in real life, the seat was empty. The reflection's face turned toward her, slow and deliberate, wide staring eyes, a grin that stretched too far, and then it whispered, "Almost time." The bus came to a stop, not at any station, just an empty road lined with trees that seemed to stretch endlessly into the night. The door hissed open. The driver turned around, his face eerily blank. "You should get off now," he said. Mia's heart pounded as she looked back. The figure in the back seat had finally moved. They were standing now, just behind her row. They were waiting, and the bus wasn't empty anymore.